All right, y'all. We're back. Featured game two of the Or Tourney. We are jumping right into this one. Four placements are already down. Four starting placements. First position here was Black, the Buddha, who is actually I believe, a new player. So a rookie for the Roberts of Catan league, and this is his first tourney in the or tourney, and it'll be interesting to see how he fits in. So Andy in the black goes for the 659 here. I totally agree. I think it's an insane starting spot, high production numbers, and getting that ore and wheat spot. Now, this board in general is a very nice board. If you are looking at a resource that's lacking, it's wood. So red's placement here makes a lot of sense as well. Going for the wheat board on the right. So this is Gene here. Gene is a director for the elite circuit, and has been awesome helping out with everything, and a very strong player himself, right? So we're gonna see how this shakes out. But first placement here by red, going for that wood production, and that maybe, going for the scarce resource in the wood. Alternatively, this top left 8, 5, 10 spot is looking really nice. So we're gonna have to see if this plays a factor, right, in the long term, because I think while this spot is good by red, I just I do want to make sure that they are able to get an ore spot, and they probably will. Probably seeing that the 6 11 3 with the 11 sheep is an option, and 6 or the 9 4 11 9 10 11 with the 2 sheep spots. So makes sense, certainly, for red in the long term here. And then blue in the third position, this is Matty Kleiss. This is Matt here. Matt's been playing with us for quite a bit. Definitely a strong player as well, a veteran of the field. But here, going for first the sheep port directly. I'm not too sure about this. Perhaps the reasoning here is to go for the scarce wood and get some wheat, and going for the free road, which I do agree with the free road, right? But I think if I was blue here, potentially nice option would be this 5 10 8 at the top, followed by a free road here. I think going here makes a lot of sense. I think you block off this spot from anyone taking it. I don't think people really go for this spot too many times, just because the ore port isn't going to be super nice for most setups, just because you're going to be using ore late game. So it'll be very important for you to actually use it instead of trade with it. But instead here, going for the free road, getting all these settlement production spots except for sheep. So hopefully trying to build here, get some sheep production. Hopefully won't be locked out by a placement here. Probably trying to get here too, but I assume this will be taken, but we'll see. Yeah, I think if I was blue, I would go here, and point right, point left, get the 3 for 1, get the ore port. They would be in good shape, I think. But we'll see how it shakes out. Right now, we'll go ahead and resume this video here, this recording of the game. Now, red here, taking the very strong, obvious spot here, I'd say. Now having access to all 5 resources, very strong production. The only downside here is you're relying on only 3 numbers if you're red. At the end of the day, I can blame red for taking that spot. I think it makes a lot of sense. And black here, immediately going for that 4 3 8, and I agree with this too, getting all resources. But I think if there's one resource to forgo, it would be wood. So, we'll see how it shakes out, right? Going for that 3-for-1 port. I think there's so much space here now. So blues actually is in all right shape. They'll place a road here. And oh, black already challenging for this wheat port, which is going to be interesting. We'll see if red even wants to take that race on. Probably won't, because I think still a very good setup and still can very much use the 3-for-1 port here and expand this direction, and should be a great game for red here. Early predictions, oh, and black's just completely making sure that red can't get there. You know, early predictions here, I think red's in a really good spot. I think red probably has the best chance of winning just based on pure production, access to resources. But black here is also in a very good spot, and if you're able to get that wheat port, it'll be really good. It'll be really good for your chances. And black here placing the robber, moving it off to 8 and onto the 10 sheep. So targeting only red here. I think I would have preferred this 8 wheat spot if I'm black, where you can hit both the blue and red spots. And yeah, a lot of quick rolls here, and an early city by black, and that's absolutely massive. And red here going for, yeah, blue here easily placing back on the 8 wheat, and yeah, I think blue here has some chances, definitely looking to settle on that 10, 11, 9. And then probably going up to that 9-6 with the wheat at the top right. Red here getting the first port, and I think this will be really good for them, having the city and the port. A lot of production is going to help them no matter what. And they'll probably look to build either up to the 2 sheep spots or to the right to the 10-9. Blue here with 10 cards, trading for a sheep and able to settle, and that's a very impressive settle, and now access to all resources. So I'm very impressed, actually. A lot of options here for blue, because there's just so much space, right? And they do have a pretty even road production distribution, right? So able to probably place roads better than anyone else, just because of the extra wood production that they have. And again here, if I'm and that's a terrible 7 for black here, but still in a very good spot, right? So I don't think anyone's complaining. It's a great board. It's a super high production board. This game should be over quick, as these guys are able to take advantage of the high production, right? And black here using their year of plenty and able to settle on the wheat port finally. So it's a good thing they locked it down by placing that extra road. It came in handy. And now they're in a really good spot, I think, actually. I think everyone's in a really good spot. I'm not really sure who will win. I think if I were to pick, it's between red and black, just because they have this early cities, and I think that's going to matter. But it's going to be about who can actually expand and settle, and blue has the expansion opportunities here. But black here with the early army and a dev card in hand. So clearly the dev card setup is going to take them far, and the second city already. So it might be tough, right, if they start to run away with this, because largest army is locked down here. But largest road currently taken by blue, so putting them at 7 along with black. But it's still very close, right? If black places 2 extra roads, they take away road. Or 3 extra roads now, they take away road. And still very much in play, right? But blue here off to a very strong start themselves, 100%. discarding five wheat. That's crazy. And able to settle. So red clearly here not going for the road strat. Definitely probably going for more of a pure production and port game. But I'm not sure if it'll be quite enough. This ore port is super helpful, and they're going to need a city and expand to ideally this 5-4-11 at the top of their settlement at the bottom right. So much wheat and ore just flying around on this board, right? Super strong spots all around. So we love these types of games because the cities just are flying, and it's going to be about who can actually get to the spots first in this low wood board to be able to have placements for cities and which spots you're exactly going to have those cities on, right? So we're going to see. I mean, black here is chasing road, it looks like. Definitely has that backdoor option there. And this 8 wheat now getting hit, which makes sense. And I think black having control of that robber is going to be so huge for them in the entire game. As you can see, 5 knights played, 2 dev cards in hand, blue with 1 dev card in hand, right? So I think actually, even though I thought that red and black might be in it, it's looking like blue and black are the leaders here. And if I were to guess who's going to win this, it's looking like black. And making a move here too. Oh, it's an absolutely brutal move here, as black just takes away this settlement spot for blue completely. And now they're going to have to build 2 more roads to get the 3-for-1 port, but it's not nearly as good as this spot would have been. And this is just great for the setup of black here, taking away a competitor potentially. And here, very inefficient city by red, and this is what I mean, right? Like, if you don't have the settlement spots to even build cities on, then you're going to have to settle for cities that aren't too useful for you, just for the VPs. So this is an example of that. And now with the brutal cutoff, huge move by black, cutting off blue from getting to 3-for-1 and taking over the longest road. This is absolutely crazy performance by black, and red here at the max of 4 cities, 2 dev cards in hand, but I'm not sure it would be quite enough. 12 VPs to win, and black is at 11. Can definitely road settle, can city, and can dev card to win. And that's going to be really dangerous. I think it's looking really rough for the other 2 here. And but blue coming back out of nowhere, just placing 4 roads, absolutely massive, and taking away longest road and probably keeping it now. So that certainly delays black's victory here. So it's good to see people fighting back, right? Always good to see that, and we're gonna see how things progress. So now black here opting to road settle. I'm surprised they aren't able to city more, definitely have the wheat and ore production for it, but probably saving that for the end where they could city very quickly. Now if they settle and city, the game's over still. So black is still very much a threat, and largest army is still very much theirs, and road could still very much be theirs too, potentially, so we'll have to see. But blue is in a very tough spot. Too many roads for each settlement, I think, so might be a bit tough. And yeah, red here with some options at 9, honestly, so very impressive performance on their part as well. But the issue with them is they're going to need to road settle a couple more times if they don't want to dev card. And I would say road settle, go for this spot right here, and then from there go for a dev card strat. So just buy all the dev cards that you can, and see if you get lucky, right? Blue here kind of falling out of it. Needs to settle, needs to city, needs to do a lot of things, but able to keep red away from black, and black with the road would have won. So heroic attempt by blue here to stave off the leader of this game right now. Now, red here with 9, with 1 dev card, and oof, and these are the cities. Oh my god, so quick, but that's how it is, right? With black, they had so many options here, where they could easily just see that they're once they settled, right? They just needed to city, and they just needed to make sure that they got it done, right? So they just need to make sure they citied here. So let me go back a bit. Right here, right? So what basically happened at the end, if people didn't catch it, they just citied right here and pulled the dev card and immediately got a VP. And you know, very impressive stuff, right? Because I think we were talking about this. Why didn't they city sooner? It's because they could probably always city. They could city whenever they want. The only spot that they don't get production from is this 5 spot. This 8 they have here. They have the 6, they have the 9, they have the 9, they have the 6. They have every single high producing or weed spot, which is absolutely crazy. So I'm actually surprised it ended up being this close, personally. But very well fought victory here. And I think very well deserved. I think this placement here to start, and then immediately going for this weed port, locking out red, was probably a key factor, because knowing that you have this weed port, knowing that you have the weed production, knowing that you have access to all 5 resources, and you get the wood to start on a low wood board is absolutely huge. And it was just a great placement by them. So yeah, I think that's it. Featured game 2 in the books. This was a good one. I think it was a good dominant performance, but really well fought by all competitors, right? I think everyone tried their best, and it was a very close game by the end. And yeah, I think this was an absolutely brutal cutoff, and it kept blue completely out of the game. And blue did fight back and take over the road again, but it was very expensive, right? 3 roads, and then trading a 4 for 1 to get a 4th road to connect, but only being able to settle with 3 roads in between 2 of their spots, and the 2 roads going to nowhere. This is going to be a tough game, right? If you're wasting 4 roads on almost nothing, right? So this was an absolutely brutal cutoff. Red tried their best too, but probably just couldn't suffice with just relying on these 3 numbers. It was a high variance game for them, so they could have easily won, but they couldn't quite get it done. And with that, game 2 in the books, and we'll see you guys for featured game 3.